Hey everybody, this is Chris and Jackie here, and we're here to walk through a demo student experience. So we're going to model what you should be looking for when you have a student sign into their Chromebook for the very first time at orientation. So first things first, open up the Chromebook, make sure it's got some charge, and have the student log in using their Berry & Springs email. So I am going to do that and make sure I type my email in correctly, and then hit our next button. So have the student sign all the way in with the correct password.
Jackie.
This is going well. There we go. Give it a minute to load up here. And we can see our Chromebook is logged in, and you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the Google Play Store is doing a little bit of work. So it's installing, and this is actually going to be where the student will be able to access the PulseCom app. So we're going to give that a minute while it's downloading. And once it finishes downloading, we'll end up clicking on this icon down in the bottom of the screen in the toolbar so that we can access the PulseCom app. So that's going to work through. You can see while it's going through Google Play, it's also downloading the Google Hangouts app. So that pops up automatically for the student. As soon as that's set and ready to go, we'll actually go ahead and start a new conversation. You'll want to do this with the student who's in the center and make sure that they start a conversation with you, their teacher. That way it's easy access for them later on if they're working in their course and they need to either chat you or do a Google Hangout to talk a little bit more about their course or their progress goals. So we can see Google Play is opening up here. Give it a little bit more time to do its thing. And you can see when Google Play is ready, it's actually going to open up for the student, and the PulseCom app is the first thing that they'll see on it. So you'll click on this, and you'll want this to go ahead and download. You can also see that I've got Google Chrome pulling up. So everything on this bottom toolbar is popping up. So I've got the PulseCom app that's downloaded and ready to go. So I'll open that up. And the next thing I'm going to do is actually resize this window and just kind of move it to the side because I don't need it to take up my full screen. And I'm also going to exit out of Google Play there and minimize Hangouts. So I've got the PulseCom app, and I'm actually going to move this all the way over to the side of my screen. And then again, as the teacher, you'll make sure the student has the proper phone number to sign in. So I'm going to type in this number and sign in. And I can see there's no messages currently, but again, when you have the student there for orientation, you'll actually want to send a few messages back and forth to make sure the connection is good. So I might say, "Hi, teacher," and send that out to my teacher. And I've got Chris here helping me demo, so he's playing the teacher role. He'll go ahead and send a message back to me to make sure that I'm getting those. And so while he's doing that, I'm also going to open up Google Hangouts again. And what you'll want to have the student do when that pops up is just start a new conversation and have them type your name in. So since I'm demoing with Chris here, I'm going to type Chris's name in. So while we're working with the PulseCom app, I'm also going to have Google Hangouts up here. And if you have the student in with you during orientation, what you'll want to do is have them start a new conversation and type your name in. That way they can create that chat and it's available to them. So they can message back and forth with you as well as start a video chat if need be. So since Chris is demoing with me, I'm going to type his name in here, click on that, and now I've got access. So have your students do that with Google Hangouts and then just minimize it. That way that screen goes away. And then you can see while we were doing that, Chris had time as the teacher to go ahead and respond back to me right within the PulseCom app. And I can see it showing up right at the very top of the screen here. And again, as a student, I can message back. And we can really just keep this PulseCom app window open on the left-hand side of the screen. That way I can always see any new messages that are coming in from my teacher. So we'll keep that up, and I'll also open up Google Chrome now. That way we can access Edgenuity and set this up, kind of get a nice workspace going as if I were a student. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as the student. And again, this is something that you'd want to do at orientation to make sure students understand what their login is, get them access into their account using the device. And then we can actually kind of set up a little split screen here, just like so, if I was a little bit better at resizing my window. And I'm now in my student account here. You can see I've got way more than one class, just as the demo. So now that we've got both systems up, I'm going to resize just so it looks a little bit nicer. Perfect. So this could be an ideal student workspace if you have the comm app up on your left-hand side, kind of squeezed, and then Edgenuity up on the right-hand side of the screen. Now I can go into my next activity as a student, right in my Edgenuity course, and I can begin my work. The other piece that we want to run through as well would be students accessing guided notes on their side. So I can click on my course and see the course map here, and I can access the guided notes right in the lesson header here. So I hit that plus button, and this is where guided notes show up on the student side here. So as a student, if I want to access these guided notes, I'm just going to hit that plus button and then click on the guided notes. And again, every Chromebook has Kami already pushed out to it. And I can see while I'm working here, my teacher actually just sent me a message. How are you doing in your class? So it's nice for the student to kind of have this Pulse Comm app open while they're working. So now that I've got my guided notes up as a student, I've got Kami already pushed out to my account. I can click on this little ribbon, and it'll actually allow me to open these guided notes right in Kami. So I'll have to actually log in here. Ideally, students are signing up either with their Google account or with their email. They can use their school email. So you can see once I have that set up, it's easiest to just sign in with Google Chrome because that's already set up because the student's logged in under their Chrome account here. And again, you can see I'm using this workflow, but I'm still getting these updates of messages from my teacher now that I have my Pulse Comm app set up. I can see a little window that shows up in the bottom right-hand corner, a banner notification, and I can see the actual message in the Comm app on my left-hand side. So now that I've got my notes, my guided notes opened up in Kami, I can actually kind of start marking up and writing on here. I'm going to use the draw tool actually because these Chromebooks have touchscreen capability. I could write my name up here, or I could use the trackpad and start writing in, or I can type in. I'm going to save that to my drive so I always have it. Or I can actually start typing in these vocab words, okay, as I'm going through this lesson. So I could say that this is math, and I can just continue to move through using those guided notes as I'm going through this lesson. So here's a nice workflow. Guided notes, and using Kami, I can access those electronically, and I can still have my Pulse Comm app up on the left-hand side. You can also, for the student, because you get those banner notifications in the bottom, you can go ahead and X that out if the student actually wants to expand this window, or maybe go split screen between their course and their guided notes, and they could split those out. So that's a quick walkthrough of a possible student experience using the Chromebook. And we hope you enjoy that. If you have any questions, just let us know.